It's a Final Fantasy shirt, yeah. Final Fantasy 7.
Podremos analizar lo que son documentos legales para verificar pues todo aquello que se nos requería. En cuanto a las opciones incorrectas, ¿cuáles son? Pues aquí tenemos Amazon Text Track, que es la
Let's
que
go.
podemos ver por aquí,
On to session number 2.
que bueno, nos permite
Let's
extraer
get it.
texto de
Aquí
documentos,
no lo
pero
tenemos.
aquí no tenemos capacidad de documentos.
3, 2, 1. Go.
another machine learning service on AWS is called Amazon Kendra. So this one is a fully managed document search service that is powered by machine learning, and it allows you to extract answers from within a document. The document could be text, PDF, HTML, PowerPoint, and you see some of them right now in the screen. Kendra, which is going to build in. For example, if a user says, "Hey, where is the IT support desk?" into Amazon Kendra, Kendra can reply first floor. And this could be due to the fact that Kendra knows from all the data sources that he took that the IT support desk was on the first floor, which is quite awesome. And it will preferred search results, it's called incremental learning. Finally, you can fine-tune the search results, for example, based on the importance of data, the freshness, or whatever custom filters you have. Okay, so from an exam perspective, whenever you see a document or service, think Amazon Kendra. That's it. I will see you in the next lecture. Next, we have Amazon Personalize, which is a fully machine learning service to build apps with real-time personalized recommendations. So what could be a recommendation? For example, a personalized product recommendation or re-ranking, or customized direct marketing. For example, a user has bought a lot of gardening tools and you want to provide recommendations on the next one to buy based on a personalization service. So this is the same technology used by Amazon.com. So when you go and shop on Amazon.com, and after buying a few products, what you will see is that Amazon.com start recommending products in the same category or in completely different categories based on how you've been searching and how you've been buying. So personal Amazon personalized API for your personal model, so you can just use this bundled as is. And so the using service to build recommendations and personalized recommendation recipe on top of the recipe to really match your use case. So rank item for a Okay, so let's have a look at Amazon Lex just to get an understanding of how it works. So you can create a bot and you can see that you have two methods. You have traditional or the generative AI bot. And here, this is where you are going to say what you want the bot to do, and then automatically it's going to be generated thanks to Gen AI. The traditional way is to create a blank block or to start with an example or to start with transcripts. Honestly, they're pretty similar. Obviously, this one is a bit more advanced. I need to have Amazon Bedrock set up in order to use this feature. But what I'm going to do right now, and to use an Anthropic V2 model, but what I'm going to do right now instead is going to use the traditional method and start with an example. And we can start, for example, with a book trip type of bot, which is going to allow us to book a hotel trip automatically. So this is a sample conversation. So book name is demo book trip because we just want to see the configurations. So we're going to create a role with basic Amazon Lex permissions. Is your bot subject to the children act? No. And then we're going to click on next. So we're going to configure the bot and we need to add languages. So we'll just have English right now. And for voice, we'll have Danielle talk to us. So perfect. Let's click on done. And now our bot is being configured. So here we are in the builder of Amazon Lex and we have what's called intents. So let's leave this. And we have what's called 3 intents. So our bot has a lot of things you can see on the left hand side. I'll try to keep it as easy as possible because we don't want to go too deep, but 3 intents, and the intent is what is the bot's intention, what can the user want to perform. So the user may want to book a hotel, they may want to book a car, but if they can't do any of these things, we'll have a default intent when no other intent matches, maybe to indicate the user what the bot can and cannot do. So cool, with this bot we can do 2 things, booking hotels or cars. Let's click on book hotel and we have a look at the conversation flow. So this is a sample conversation one can have with the bot. So here we have a sample utterance, and utterance is a way to say, well, if we say book a hotel, then most likely the bot is going to say that we want to book a hotel. So this is an utterance. And then there is acknowledgement intent, and then we have questions. So we know we want to book a hotel, okay, but we need information. So what city will you be staying in? And then we have the city. And then what day do you want to check in? The date. And we can basically edit the bot to say, okay, I don't understand you, or okay, I got you. And we can program how the bot reacts. So you can have a look at all the information here. We can have context. We can say, okay, what type of sample utterances could it be that will invoke this flow? Let's get all the information here. We can have context. We can say, okay, what type of sample utterances could it be that will invoke this flow? So book a hotel, or I want to make hotel reservations, or book X number of nights in this location. And you can see here the number of nights and the location are slots. They're parameters for our booking system. So the slots right here, as you can see, we have 4 of them. They're like the inputs so that the bot can actually book a hotel. So we have the
Demobot,
location, the
the
check-in
line.
date, number of
What
nights,
should I do?
and room type. And then when we're good, we say, okay, we confirm the intent, and here we can fulfill it. So it's not active because we don't have a Lambda function, but if we had a Lambda function to actually book this, then the box will send all these slots, all these parameters to the Lambda function, and then thanks to all these parameters, the Lambda function can then do a booking. So this is quite handy, and you can see the bot can be fully configured from here, which is very handy. You also have a visual builder, and it looks like this. So what is the start, then the code hook, then to find the slot values, such as the location. Let me zoom in a little bit so you see the location, the check-in date, the night, and what happens on success, on failure, and so on, and the confirmation. So you can visually see the start, the end of your conversation, what gets invoked, so what Lambda function gets invoked, and so on. And this could be another way of defining the same thing we had on the left-hand side, but this time more visually. So as you can see, vBuilder is very powerful. You can have as many intents as you want, and then actions, and then utterances, and so on. And so from a exam perspective, Amazon Lex is going to be. So Amazon Poly is the opposite of Amazon Transcribe. So this allows you to turn text into lifelike speech using deep learning and allows you to create applications that will talk. So you define how. So now let's talk about AI services for the medical space. So we've seen Amazon Transcribe, but there is a version of Amazon Transcribe that is specifically geared for the medical space. And this allows you to automatically convert medical related speech into text. And the reason why this is specialized is because we have HIPAA compliance. That means that you should be able to use it in regulated environments. So your audio is going to go through Amazon Transcribe Medical and you're going to get text out of it. But it specializes in medical terminologies such as the medicine names, the procedures, the conditions, and diseases. So you have the option to do real time with a microphone or to upload files and get batch transcription. And the use cases for Amazon Transcribe Medical is to create a voice application that will enable physicians to detect medical notes or to transcribe phone calls that will report on drug safety and side effects. So once from the audio you have text, then you can do even more things. So you can, for example, use Amazon Comprehend Medical, again, a version of Amazon Comprehend geared for the medical space. And Comprehend Medical is going to detect and return useful information from your text. It's going to understand the physician's note, the discharge summary, the test results, the case notes. For this, it uses the the natural language processing, but this time it's going to also be able to detect protected health information, PHI, to make sure that you're not sharing information that you shouldn't. The data can be from Amazon is free. You have a real-time feed. So now let's talk about AWS Health Scribe. So it's a HIPAA eligible service that will automatically generate clinical notes by analyzing patient clinical conversation. So from the audio, you're going to get rich transcripts, you're going to identify speaker roles, classify dialogues, extract medical terms, and generate clinical notes. So you just send the audio into HealthScribe, and then it will provide its report to you. So the use cases is to reduce documentation time, to have AI-generated transcript and clinical notes, and to have efficient patient visit recap. So to show you HealthScribe, I just click on the region and I choose Northern Virginia, US East 1, because this is where this is currently available. And then I type HealthScribe. So as you can see, it is right now an Amazon transcribe feature. So I just click on it. Maybe you'll have its own console someday, but it's here on the bottom left of Amazon Transcribe. And so you can upload an audio, you can customize a vocabulary, you can filter out sentences, and then analyze results. But there's a cool demo that you have called Medical Insights. So here you can select one of these audios, so either diabetes or blood pressure. So let's choose diabetes. Then you can have a customization. So if you want to have a custom vocabulary, and we can look at the vocabulary itself. So this is the kind of thing that this phrases should be displayed as something else. And then you can start analyzing. And so this is going to analyze the transcript and then give you the output. So you can see here that the transcript is between the clinician and the patient, and you can see what everyone is saying over time, and you can even play from the audio the part, which is pretty cool. And then you get the insights section. So what is the chief complaint? Is tiredness. Then you have more clinical stuff that are most likely better understood by doctors than myself. But anyways, it gives you the assessment, the plan. Okay, this is diabetes, so you must do this for the patient, and so on. So that's it. You have a better understanding of how AWS Health Scribe is working. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture. So now let's talk about Amazon EC2. So Amazon EC2 is actually one of the most popular of offering from AWS, and it means Elastic Compute Cloud. This is where you get your servers, your infrastructure as a service. Real-time feature to service. At launch, you can use something called the EC2 user data. So I know it's a lot of information I just dumped on you. You don't need to remember any of it. I just want to give you an overview. It's basically a virtual server that you have in the cloud that you can configure it on so many levels. But now let's talk about AI and how it's related to Amazon EC2. So when you create an Amazon EC2 instance, you have to select what's called an instance type. And there are some EC2 instances that are going to be based on GPU. So GPU is graphical processing unit. And remember, they're the very good processors that allow you to perform machine learning. And so you have called like EC2 families, for example, the P family or the G family that have very good GPUs. And of course, they may be desirable from an AI perspective. So if you take an EC2 instance of type P3, P4, P5, or G3, and so on, just get until G6, then of course, you're going to have good GPUs to perform deep learning on big models. We're talking about 100 billion plus parameters. So the TRN1 instance, so it's an EC2 instance of type TRN1, for example, will have 16 Trainium accelerators. And so when you start training models directly on these virtual servers, you're going to get a 50% cost reduction as advertised by AWS. So you would use these servers to train the models. If you So now let's talk about Amazon Mechanical Turk. So this is the original Mechanical Turk. In the 1770 year, this was created by an inventor, and this was an actual robot that was playing chess in front of people. But it was an illusion, of course, because there were no robots in that time. And that robot was cleverly operated by someone inside that was playing chess, and with some mapping, the robot was moving. But thanks to an illusion, no one could see that there was an operator inside. So this is the thing that the service got named after. And the idea is that Amazon Mechanical Turk is a crowdsourcing marketplace to perform simple human tasks. So the idea is that you have access to a distributed virtual workforce. So you give tasks to it, and behind the scenes, humans are going to do these tasks. But these tasks can be very simple and very cheap. For example, say you have a data set of 10 million images and you want to label these images. Then you're going to create a task on Mechanical Turk, and actual humans all around the world will go ahead and tag those images. And you can set a reward per image. For example, if you set 10 cents per image, then tagging all these images will cost you $1 million. But of course, it's up to you to set the pricing and so on. But the idea is that you have access to a very, very big workforce that is really eager to work on these kind of tasks. So the use cases for Amazon Mechanical Turk is image classification, data collection, business processing, anything that is going to be simple and can easily be distributed to many, many people at a time. So why do we want Amazon Mechanical Turk from an AI perspective? Well, of course, to label your images, to review recommendations and so on, it can be very, very helpful. So there is deep integration between Amazon Mechanical Turk and Amazon A2I or SageMaker Ground Truth and so on. So here's an example of what a worker looks like when they go on Amazon Mechanical Turk. So here, as you can see, they see a lot of different jobs that they can do. The reward for each job that they have to do, for example, filling an Excel spreadsheet and so on, then they can accept the work and work on it. So if you set the right reward and the job is fast enough, then you will get a lot of people working on your job very quickly. So that's it for Amazon Mechanical Turk. It's a service that allows you to access many humans at a time. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture. So now let's talk about Amazon Augmented AI or A2 an AWS AI service, or you make your own custom review. Prove its quality. AWS confidentiality requirements. So you have access to to a wide array of contractors that can work for you with maximum consumption with Amazon A2I.
es el servicio que nos va a permitir pues extraer todo esto a partir de imágenes, documentos escaneados y etcétera. Por ejemplo, un caso típico de uso de este servicio yo lo he visto en empresas que tienen muchos recibos o muchas facturas, hacen fotos y a partir de estas fotos lo que se permite es usar este servicio para extraer esta información. Los otros servicios en este caso no tienen un caso práctico donde sirva para esto exactamente.
The way that teams brainstorm is broken. They're working on a whiteboard that's disconnected from the rest of their work, and it's killing team creativity.
Vale, pues vamos al siguiente. Pregunta 3. Una empresa de medios digitales almacena una gran cantidad de entrevistas en vídeo, cada una de las cuales incluye conversaciones en diferentes idiomas. ¿De acuerdo? El equipo desea automatizar el proceso de transcripción y traducción de estos vídeos para crear subtítulos multilingües que sean precisos y contextuales. ¿Vale? La situación es que tenemos vídeo, otro que se nos pide es donde tenemos transcripción. Entonces vamos a ir a la opción A. Donde tenemos transcribe y translate. Por un lado transcribimos, es decir, tenemos la capacidad de dar un vídeo y de ese vídeo extraer todo lo que es la parte de texto, es decir, pasar ese audio a texto. Y luego tenemos la capacidad de traducir ese texto. Por ejemplo, tenemos un vídeo en español, diferentes tareas. Pregunta importante a nivel de